What up, guys? Rip here. I've put in over 100 hours into Multiversus. I commentated this game at EVO, and after the beta, it disappeared for a while, but now it's back, and I was invited by WWE to play it just a week ago, so I had my hands on with some of the new characters. It was super fun. Let's get right into it. So first of all, of course, after the beta, the game went away for a while. They had some major updates. They updated the engine to Unreal Engine 5. They've updated the netcode. The gameplay, which was kind of surprising to me, has also been changed. So I'll get into that in just a little bit. But basically, at the end of the day, still super fun. So I had a great time with it. You know, they of course introduced some new characters in here. I played a lot of Joker and a lot of Jason. Did not really get to play a lot with Black Adam or Banana Guard, etc. But those characters are going to be available at launch. Agent Smith, I believe, is coming a little bit later, but they also included some new PvE modes. There's new Battle Pass stuff, you know, and I'm not really going to cover all that stuff. I just want to focus more on the gameplay here today. First, let's talk about the graphics. Now, the upgrade to Unreal Engine 5 is very clear here. The models are bigger, they're clearer. It just looks a lot better than it did in the past, which was kind of unexpected. I kind of thought it was going to be similar. I thought it was well done before, and it's even better now. So shout out to them for that. They nailed it. There's also a new closer camera now, especially doing the tutorial. The tutorial's been redone now, so you have Batman walking you through and giving you the basics. So that's a really short, simple tutorial compared to what they had in the past. But let's talk about this gameplay now. One of the big additions they've given is that there's now a running attack that I don't remember being in the old version, but maybe it was. I just don't remember it after 100 hours. That's kind of crazy. But the running attacks in this game are very, very good now. And of course, there's still no shield, right? So you have to use your dodges. And overall, my main character was Shaggy in the past. So I went straight to Shaggy here. I spent some time with him, and I gotta say, he felt so much slower. It caught me off guard. I was like, am I playing this game at like some kind of beginner mode? I was very confused about it. And as I played more, I realized like this was deliberate. This was intentional. They wanted to slow down the attacks for all characters, it seems like, just so that everything is more deliberate, right? So you can't just really mash your way through things anymore. And because of that, because of the longer startup and attacks, and because everything is more deliberate, I believe this makes the netcode work better as well. And let me talk about the netcode now, because they did say that they rebuilt the rollback netcode from the ground up. I played for multiple hours during this preview event, and I gotta say, the netcode was perfect. You know, in the old beta version, there was a lot of teleporting that was happening. You would just be suddenly jumped from one part of the map to another. You would see these kind of like slingshot kind of animations play when the rollback kicked in like that. None of that stuff happened. Now, disclaimer on this is, of course, that I did not see the ping player. The game doesn't tell you what the pings are or anything like that. So I have no idea. Maybe all of the matches I had were all with West Coast players. I have no idea. But I can tell you that the experience I had was fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that netcode holds up once everybody has access to it. But I did see people talking about how East Coast to Europe was very playable and that the new netcode is a lot better. So it sounds very promising, because that was one of the biggest issues I had with the game in the past, was that players would literally teleport like crazy. Like you would see the game kind of freeze up and you'd be like running in place for a moment while the other opponent, where your teammate or something, would just suddenly teleport. All the players on the screen would just teleport to random locations. Never happened. Not once in this entire playthrough I ever had. So it sounds like they really did a good job of fixing things up. There's also new stages, of course, the new characters I mentioned, but that's the core part of it, right? Just that the core gameplay is a little bit slower. Everything's a little bit more deliberate. And I thought it was going to affect my enjoyment of the game, but let me tell you, after playing this thing for multiple hours, insanely fun. Insanely fun. Just like in the betas, I couldn't stop playing it. It was ridiculous. So let's get into the characters really quickly. I do have the overview of their move list, so you guys can pause and read through this and go through it all. I did go through all of the moves individually myself, so I explored it a little bit. I was thinking about releasing it as a video, but I figured there'll be plenty of guides out there for you guys. If you guys still want a guide, let me know. I do have the overview I recorded previously, but the game's coming out on Tuesday, so you'll have your hands on it soon enough. Let me just give you my general overview of every character, right? So Joker, insanely fun character. I think this is actually my new main of the game. I played Shaggy in the past, and a lot of his attacks are just so slow now that I just don't really feel like using them anymore with them. Joker, on the other hand, has so many good tools, so many fun tools, dude. The balloon up special is fantastic, and then you can ride it afterwards. So there's like really tricky things you can set up with it. He's got this bazooka which you can aim upward with, and the more you charge it, the farther it goes. So it doesn't have like a full horizontal trajectory, but it's got enough to just guard the edge, and it's super duper cheap, and I love that. I absolutely love it. So that bazooka changed my life. He's also got these like little mechanics where you can use the charge up on his teeth, use that in the air as well for his flower, and those kind of like transferred over mechanics. They're like a little bit more advanced, so it's not just a simple, straightforward character in that regard. However, he's still surrounded by a bunch of good strings, so all of his normals seem pretty good. You know, he's got what seems to be a pretty standard target combo in the game, which is like forward attack, 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 like a 3-hit target combo essentially. A lot of the characters seem to have that. But I felt like Joker was just so good at side air with the crowbars, super good multi-hitting attack. He's got another side special where he like punches you like a Jack-in-the-Box kind of punch, where the fist comes out and knocks you. Incredibly good range, really effective with that as well. And I did not expect those few moves to be so fun and effective. So Joker was insanely fun. I did not expect to love it. I feel like I said that like 100 times already. Did not expect to have so much fun with Joker. Let's talk about Jason. So Jason is a much heavier character than Joker, right? He's a much slower character. His attacks have more startup, but also incredibly fun. Same thing, he's got a 3-hit target combo, except that his 3rd hit actually can pick up the opponent and throw them, right? The thing I didn't realize until later was that you can actually do the 2 hits of the target combo when you grab them, throw them in the opposite direction. So that was super good. His dodges are also extremely far, so it helps him get back to stage when he's off stage. Except, you know, it seems like a lot of these things have more recovery in the past. But like I was saying, the game is, in general, a little bit slower than it was in the past. His charged axe attack, ridiculous. Like, you can just blast people with that thing. He also has an interesting mechanic where he can actually hurt himself to like take gray health damage. And if he does that, it powers up the next attack. But you can't miss it, right? So that's a big deal with the character. The funnest attack, though, by far for Jason, is his teleport, right? Because you can hear the music. But not just that, it's got a hitbox as he teleports. So it's kind of hard to tell which way he's going to go when you're just playing a match. You see Jason teleport and he appears somewhere else. So you don't know if he's going left or right, essentially, right? But the hitbox on it is huge. And like I said, he's a heavy character. So he hits pretty hard and they go flying. And then he's also got these up attacks. He either like on the ground, it's like this up bed slap. So he slams his bed together. Super good, super effective. He also has the jumping up attack where it's like the double stab in the air. That's also super good, very good. It seems like a detached hitbox, but it's definitely not, or disjointed hitbox, but it's definitely not. But it's very, very effective. And then I think the funniest move he has is definitely the sleeping bag. So it's basically like a command grab, very slow startup again, right? But he can grab you in a sleeping bag and he can slam you on the ground and then spin you and throw you away, right? The crazy thing I found on accident, you can put 2 people, the entire other team, into the sleeping bag and then chuck them both off stage. It's awesome. Like, they don't die, they can still recover from it, but obviously if they're high in a percentage, maybe it does. I'm not really sure. But super duper fun move. So that's basically Jason in a nutshell, also Joker in a nutshell. There's also Black Adam I went over very briefly. He seems like a very straightforward character too, so I'll leave the move list here so you guys can look over that and have, you know, a gander at it. I'm sure there's some other people who have put out guides for all these characters by now, but I think at the end of the day, the thing that's important to note here is that the game is just as fun as it was before. If you guys enjoyed Multiversus in the past, you're going to enjoy it this time. It's still free to play. Personally, I cannot wait for Agent Smith to get in the game because obviously I'm a huge fan of the Matrix, right? I hope they add Neo and Trinity down the line, maybe Morpheus as well. I mean, I'm thinking way distant future at this point, but Agent Smith being in there is already it's already a good sign for me. And if you guys haven't tried out Multiversus, like I said, free to play, so definitely get into it. Like I said, I put in 100 hours in this game from the last beta and now. I think I only put an extra 4 to 5 hours with this press preview, but I highly recommend it, and I definitely think you guys should give it a shot. So that's it. I'm Rip. I'm out here. You guys have a good day, and I'll see you guys out there playing some Multiversus later. Peace.